Hi everyone, yesterday Bitcoin had this massive dump and now everybody's calling that we're going to the 70k, which this will actually change the trend that we have, the bullish trend on Bitcoin. We're going to analyze what the Bitcoin price have been doing and also try to predict and see if we change the trend already or not. So just stick around this video and hopefully you're going to learn something with. As I have been saying many times in my past video, the best areas to buy Bitcoin was around the 11 and 12 and below 12 is how I had been saying all the time. And we saw the small consolidation in the 4 hours we were forming, and now we are again into the 107, 108 more or less. And this is what everybody gets super scared just with one red candle, which if you have been subscribing to my channel, you know already that this dump will be completely normal and fine in the Bitcoin price. Why? Let me show you why. I have been saying to you already in the consolidation, and the consolidation we have already in the daily. I'll show you like this. We have been having this since long time already to the 124 all the way to 107. And you need to understand that if the Bitcoin price is going to go all the way to the 90s like everybody's calling, normally the Bitcoin price, the same I say you around here, when everybody's was calling the same, we don't go all in red candles. We always need to bounce. And for now, I don't really see that. We can see how the Fortuna line start to have a little bit strength, but we're still below the horizontal line. So that doesn't mean that we're going to continue going down. Also in this area, you can see how the Fortuna line went with strength and we went up, but we didn't break the 117. We just went up, but that's it. Once we go through the horizontal line, that would mean that we have a real strength, and there is when you need to hold either we're going up or to the downside because we're going to do it with a lot of strength. What I see right now is that the Bitcoin price have stopped dumping, and this is what I'm expecting right now to continue doing. Why? Because we see how good the liquidation is in this area. That's why we stop over here. We don't continue going down. It is still the possibility, like many people say, we will go to 100k. We will see if that happens. And in that scenario, what we'll expect from the price of Bitcoin if we go all the way to the 100k or 90, like many people call. But for now, this is the best area to get in. To be honest, this is what I've been calling already. And this is why you need to be clear as many times I mentioned about the portfolio and how you manage the money in your portfolio, because one of the areas to enter was around here, below the 112 I was mentioning, and the other ones is here. It doesn't mean that you go 100% or 50% in this area, but with a small percentage like 10%, and then in this area you can add a 10 or 20% more. This is like more realistic way to be working with your portfolio. And as for now, I really don't see the price going lower, to be honest. And that's why as well, I entering with a nice long in this area. But remember, I'm watching the daily. If you want to know more about the time frames and understand more about how the market works, you can go to the video I'm gonna link, and at the end of this video, and then you're gonna have a better understanding of what is going on and how this can benefit you. So when I'm talking about entering here, I'm talking about spot. And I personally, it doesn't really matter for me if the price continue, let's say in the case that we continue going down, because if the market continue going down, I'm just going to continue buying and buying and buying, because there is nobody have lost money on Bitcoin. At least you sell in a loss. Otherwise, all the Bitcoin holders, they're all in profit. Once you don't sell, the only thing you need is time. I maybe don't going to enjoy it myself right now, but in the following years, the Bitcoin price is going to continue going up. And this is something you need to have clear, because once you buy in spot, the only thing it matters if the time you have, and that's why I say many times, the money you put in Bitcoin, you should put in money you don't need tomorrow, you don't need next week, you don't need in the next month or years. That's why just save in Bitcoin, because saving in the crappy currency your country is offering, it won't take you anywhere. So once you have that clear and your emotions are completely removed, you can navigate the market, and it doesn't really matter if we continue going down. But it's not what I'm saying right now. This is just for you to have a little bit clarity, because once you think like this, it doesn't really matter if you go down. You're just going to stop winning right now, but you just wait and the price is going to continue going down. It's also a little bit bizarre. We're talking about that when we are around 109. Bitcoin was at 15,000 and the bear market, and the bottom of the bear market, nobody was thinking that the Bitcoin price was going to go to the 100,000. So yeah. Now, let me show you the scenario, because I want to also try to predict what the Bitcoin price should do, and the possibility as well is something's go wrong for the end of the next week. So I was saying already that now we have base this area. This is the previous low we did. This was in the beginning of September. Now we're back again to that area. And remember, when we were in this area, everybody was already calling that the trend already changed. And this is when I was pointing out, if we go to this area and we go down, we go rejected from there, that is when we really need to pay attention to the Bitcoin price. Because right now, I still, in the daily, if you're asking me what I'm expecting for the Bitcoin price, I'm still expecting the Bitcoin price to go to the opposite. Exactly like this. I still playing the ABC, I have been telling you, because we are inside this consolidation. And the worst case scenario for the next weeks, if we go to this area, the 100K, ignore all that I just told you, and we're gonna make the projection for the next week around the end of the week and have a better idea of what the Bitcoin price potentially will do in case that everything played wrong. So if you ask me what is the best area to buy Bitcoin right now, I would say that is exactly the same area I have been saying to you in the last days, which is around this area down here. And you still will have a better price than Michael Saylor because he has been accumulating around the 120 and you will have it around 108. So let's say that by the next week, we come and we already at 100. And this is really important, guys. We need to have really, so we need to pay attention to this because this is really, really serious. If we just go all the way to 100 by the next week, we need to pay attention first. We need to pay attention to the Fortuna line because the Fortuna line, if it crosses the horizontal line with strength, this will be something really serious. It will be really, really serious because like this potentially will change the trend. And this is like, you need to have clear that before changing any trend, a chain of trend, you need to come with a consolidation first, which in case of the consolidation, we have it right here in this area, which I already point to you many times. So when we know that we have this consolidation around here, and after that we have a massive breakdown with confirmation with the direction of the red valley to the negative side and the Fortuna line to the opposite side, crossing the horizontal line, this is where we really need to pay attention. But for now, even if you see the consolidation, I just will call it that it's a accumulation and not a distribution, because I can show you how it will look in case that this is not a consolidation and it's a distribution. So in the case of that, something like that happened, and we have clear already that we already went through the horizontal line with the Fortuna line, and we still have the red direction of the valley. In that case, I would expect the Bitcoin price to come all the way to the 100, 101 more or less. And in this area, this is where everything gets super, super, super hot, because once we cross like that, and it's something serious, after buying in this area, do we sell right here? No, we don't sell right here. Do you sell around here? No, either. You don't sell around there. What we wait in this moment is that the confirmation of the trend come, the chain of the trend. And in this case, the 55 MI will be the resistance. And well, the confirmation for the price will be to come and look for that 55 MI, which will be around the 109 as well, around this area. We get the rejection here, and this will be the best area to leave what we already enter in the daily chart. After that, what it will be continue passing after that is like forming the third wave, Elliott wave. We will be coming around the 90s. Around here, the 90s, we will have a down phase, which always happen. And after this down phase, we will have another dump. And this is important because here we will be having, after the three wave, we will have the number 4. We will have a lazy dump or another consolidation, and then we're going to go in the 5 wave, and this will be below the 80s. So this is something that you need to have in mind if you want to change the trend. It's everybody's calling that we're going to go to 70 already. They changing the trend before that happened. And this is really important to have it on mind, because you cannot have, and it's really dangerous to change the trend just because we are in the bottom of this consolidation that we have been forming already since, since June pretty much. I mean, we didn't know at this moment that we're going to make this consolidation, but we pretty much form that base ground over there, which is what is holding right now the price already since May, May, then June and July. And this is why this is a bigger support. And this is why you have to pay attention, because it's really, really important to have in mind. If we see that we went all the way to the 100K, and then after this we have this rejection, that is the confirmation we need to leave the boat, because otherwise the Bitcoin price is just going to continue going down. If something like this happen and I sell this area over here to have cash, because it's important for you to leave this area right here, because we want to accumulate more. in the bear market. But this is something you need to have it on mind because it could happen. I don't see the probabilities right now are higher to the opposite, but we need to keep track of this. I already say to you as well, the same scenario around this area when we were right here in the case that we get rejected about the 15,000, but we went all the way to the 17, and then we have again this massive dump, but to the bottom of the consolidation we're having until this scenario do not happen. This continue being accumulation and just shaking everybody and not a distribution phase, because every time we change the trend, it needs to happen. We see already how we have the massive bullish trend. This is how always change the trend. We have the previous trend, which is the bullish trend. After that, we have a consolidation, and this consolidation become accumulation distribution once we have the confirmation in this area, and that's why it is a super key area to keep on mind. If you still don't believe me, you can go and check my previous videos, because we have been having in the 4-hour charts this consolidation, and every time the Bitcoin price was going down, I was calling to the bottom of the consolidation, I was calling to buy. And this is I have been saying already here in other videos as well, and I was also, like, every time we were to the bottom, we was around 111,000 going to the top side, which was around 13,000, 14,000. That is the area where we needed to go out. And even I posted here, remember to secure your Bitcoin profits. This I took the profit around 113,000 more or less. We went to 14,000, but doesn't matter because we went all the way down. And this is, I mean, it's just simple. When we are in a consolidation, it's really easy to just see where to enter, when to get out. But most of the people, they see that went to the bottom of the consolidation and they still thinking that you're going to continue going down and down and down. But that's not the case. In this case, guys, if we want to change, or if the trend will change, in this case with the big confirmation I was calling about here, this would take around 1 month in order to change. This is not something that it would change just next week, for example. The analysis, the prediction is for next week to see what, in case the Bitcoin price go to this area and analyze it and knowing already what would be the confirmations to know that we're getting really, really serious in this dump. But that would be for next week. But if we want to have the whole play out with the waves and the confirmation here, that would take us around a month. And that would mean that we will have this the October month pretty much bearish. We will be around this area, and I don't really see that. So let me know in the commentaries below if you think that we're going to go up or are we going to go down. Is this an accumulation or distribution phase? So now, if you really, I mean, the only option I have after all that, if you ask me, where are we heading, it is more clear that we're heading to the opposite. And I hope you have this clear now. And like I say, we cannot just change the trend with one candle, and we cannot change the trend just next week. Hopefully this gives you a better clarity of what to expect for the Bitcoin price and what it will happen if the trend is going to change. Here's where you need to start taking decisions, because if you don't buy here, you're never going to buy. I mean, the best areas to buy is the 109. This is the best area. 108 would be even great. But below 110, 111 is still already a good area, because what we want to do here is to go and sell around 115 or even above. But once we are around 113, 115, don't come again like thinking if you should buy or not, because you have the big chances here twice. You have it at 108. I was calling it many times that we're going to go and continue going up. Everybody was dropping it already to 70, 90K. And now we have another chance, and you're still with fear. And I don't blame you if you're with fear. I mean, there are many other people with you aligning as well. This is something I post from today, and the fear grid index is already, yesterday we have it at 44, and today it dropped all the way to 28. We are in fear right now, and every time that we go to fear is the best area to buy. Of course, we need to take a look to more indicators, not only base and T's, but I already explained you how I don't see it more bearish. And the probability is always there. I mean, the probability is always to go down, but the highest probability is continue in this consolidation phase, or accumulation, as I was calling it to you. So now let's check let's take a look, just a small view to the 4 hours. And I was calling many times here in the past video. Let me show you right here. We were actually taking profits around here. Why? Because we were already touching the 55 MI. That's what I said to you, like not really entering. And as you can see right now already, the RSI is already in oversold territory. We see already the liquidity is stopping the price, continue going down. Also, this is something that potentially going to happen and develop during the weekend, because during the weekend is a very slow market. You see already the trend line is still with strength, but we already have this massive stop, and you see how we oversold our. Potentially, we could even made something like this that would make the price to go to the upper side looking for the 55 MI. Let's see how that play out, guys. But as I say to you, I'm logging both sides in the daily and the 4 hours as well. If in the 4 hours we continue going down, depending how low we go, I do enter here. Depending how low we go, I'm gonna buy more contracts and then just have a balance between the liquidation price and see how that play out. But hopefully this video give you a better insight why not to change the trend just because like many people does. And like this, if you didn't know, now you know better than many other people out there. But even after that, if you're still super bearish, let me play you what Michael Saylor need to say to you, because this is so true. If people knew what I knew, Bitcoin will go to 1 million tomorrow. Listen to this.
Volatility was a gift to the faithful. It scares away the tourist. It scares away the lazy. It scares away the people that are already conventionally rich that have all the money. If you're a 20-something or a 30-something and you're willing to do the work, if you're willing to spend 100 hours or 200 hours, if you have more time than money, then the volatility of Bitcoin is a gift to you. If you have
exactly, guys, this is what I'm saying all the time. In other words, if you have the time and the patience, the volatility is gonna be the best thing you ever gonna embrace in your life.
If you have more money than time and you're arrogant and egotistical and you just pick the obvious, then if the volatility goes away, you buy Bitcoin. If people in the rest of the world knew what I know and they understood and they agreed with me, Bitcoin would go to $10 million tomorrow. And if Bitcoin went to $10 million tomorrow, I want you to think about how you would feel and how your viewers would feel, because you would lose 20 years of stacking opportunity during which you get to buy at less than $10 million. So the difference between $10 million and 100,000, that's what you give up if the volatility goes away and people start to agree with you.
Exactly, guys, exactly. And you're still feeling bearish with that. I mean, I'm gonna leave this to you because it's insane how one Bitcoin was 100K in Turkey in 2021, and today one Bitcoin is 4.5 million, guys. So if you still feel bearish, or if you still like scary because we have this massive red candle over here, and you want to feel a little bit better, I mean, just check in the Lira, it's called the currency of Turkey, and just new all-time high all the time. You're gonna see super green. So it's a positive way to see that. Then just to finish, guys, something I want to mention, and this is something you need to be really careful, because now when we have this last leg of the bull market, we're gonna start to have all these like people changing the structure of the market. Like when Bitcoin go down to the bottom of the consolidation, now they change the trend and it's gonna go to 90 to 70, etc. And when we're already closer and closer to the end, everybody starts to talk about the super cycle. They're not gonna be bearish market anymore, and people start to change now that it's gonna end in 2026. It may end in 2026, but we cannot say now. We need to continue reading what the market is saying to us. And nice, we can see how the market is just going now 109, 600. Yeah, I mean, we need to continue going up and up and up. But in order to have these projections that now the market gonna end in the middle of 2026, or in this case, say like January, like in January, Rob Paul is a really good in micro economics, and he was pointing that we're gonna end up in Q2 of 2026. There is always a probability. I still don't see it. I have been talking many times in my channel with the weekly, but if in the next month we see it, then I'm gonna be talking as well. But right now I don't see it. So just be a little bit skeptical about this kind of post, because this can stop you to sell in the right moment you need to sell. And you don't want to be holding your bags in the bear market. Believe me, you want to be holding cash because you want to go shopping in the bear market. So this was everything, all what I have to share to you today, guys. Just remember to share the video with a friend, smash that like, subscribe to the channel. Like this, you're going to be supporting my channel. I would really appreciate your help. And also remember that you can go in the description below, and there you can use this nice Bybit coupon code and B2Next up to 100K. So you can also help me and help you, and see you tomorrow, guys.